with one another in shaping our daily lifestyles?
Well, there's so much. The moment you go on social media, there's so much to engage in. So sometimes what it does is that it makes you lose track of important things.
Mm.
It makes you a bit more overly dependent on gadgets, and people actually become a bit more addicted to it. So before you realize, you're losing your own focus in life, you are losing your own goals. You actually, social media also depend on what happens there. There can be cyberbullying or some kind of thing. You post a picture there, someone will make a comment that would actually change your destiny for life. Right?
Right.
So you realize that social media issues uh, is actually taking a chunk of our lives. It's taking us away from some of the things that we value. You may actually get addicted to all kinds of things on social media that can actually take a part of your life, right? But if you know how to handle social media well, then it actually becomes a tool to make your life better
Right.
instead of becoming a distraction. And if you are at work and you're on social media, you may not pay attention to work. You may make mistakes.
Yes.
Yesterday, I went for, I think, a meeting or so, and you had a person on the phone in some way, right? But it depends on how people use it. That is what is going to influence the impact it has on their lives.
Okay. Now, Doc, how does constant social media use affect mental health and attention lifespan? I mean, you made an example where you said that if you're on social media and you're working, you may lose focus. So, how does constant social media affect mental health, attention span, and emotional well-being?
You've combined three major things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it comes to mental health, I will say two things: the bad and the good. Right? The bad means that people can become addicted to it. Now, there are all kinds of concepts coming up: net phobia, normophobia, the fear of the fact that you may not even have an internet, the fear of losing track or touch with people, right?
And that's
The
nomophobia.
fear, there are even fear of losing your own phone. There are all kinds of phobias that are actually coming up just because of social media,
Right.
right? Cyberbullying is also there. Things about comparing yourself with other people on social media. People may be judge themselves. They may feel life is not going well for themselves. All those things. Uh, Now the research will tell you that majority of the people addicted to social media may use social media to cope with depression, right? So
Right.
that is the negative aspect of it. It actually also affects your attention on important things. When you have addictive behaviors around social media, it actually affects your life, right, and your mental well-being. But the good side of it is that, like I said, people stay in touch with people online, and that promotes some sense of belongingness and well-being. People actually run businesses on social media, and that gives them a sense of fulfillment, which is very, very positive. There's something we call mindless activities. When people are stressed, they don't want to think so much. They want to forget things. They want to keep their minds off the stresses and the problems, and so they go on social media to watch funny clips and stuff. That keeps their mind away from things. So in terms of coping, social media really, really helps. It's also very, very good for learning. You can decide not to go to school and educate yourself on social media using, because there are all kinds of educational tools on social media.
Yes.
That is very, very, very beneficial, right? And so there's a downside and there's a good side, and depending on how we use it, we may experience either of these.
Okay. Do you want to touch more on the emotional well-being?
And so I think I talked about when people are stressed, they are worried, they are anxious, they are depressed. Usually they may use social media to actually feel better. They watch funny clips, they actually read some good stuff from there, they learn something new there. This morning, for example, if someone is listening to us and the person is down, the person may be encouraged, right? So social media actually can help improve on emotional well-being. And the downside is what I've talked about already.
Right, right. Um, we have here Madam Lydia Quayson. Good morning, Madam.
Good morning. You and everyone on the call.
Great. You're welcome to
Thank you.
Z101.9 FM.
Thank you so much.
So before I come to you, Miss Quayson, Doug, what psychological gain should one look for when their lifestyle is becoming unbalanced?
Psychological gain.
Signs.
Signs. You realize that you become overly worried and anxious about events. So you realize that you may have too many things to juggle at the same time, and you may actually be a bit anxious. You wake up and you're anxious, you're worried. You don't even know what is happening. 2, you may become too overwhelmed. You become too stressed because everything is all over the place. And it may affect you. If you're unable to deal with your anxieties and stresses, you may go into some form of depressive problems. Again, you realize that you may struggle to sleep. Sleep may become a problem for you. You may struggle to feed. You may have some kind of eating-related problems also. And again, you may overly be expectant about events. And you may actually become a bit more irritable, a bit more difficult to deal with. It may affect your relationship with your family and your kids. And you may get feedback from others who care about you that now it looks like you are not present. It looks like things are not okay with you. What is wrong with you? That would also tell you that there's something basically wrong. And so getting by day-to-day activities may be a bit more difficult for you.
Okay, yes. So you say that if someone is overly anxious or overly expectant, I mean, it's important they see it as a sign, a psychological sign of, lifestyle imbalance, isn't it?
Yes, okay. They should.
Okay. I'll come back to you, Doc. Madam Quayson, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
Okay, so Doc touched on why the balance of work, relationship, and social media can become such a big challenge in our modern life. What's your take on that?
Okay, so as a career coach and dealing with people each and every day, I want to take it from where he landed, right?
Okay.
So one thing I have encountered is that, yes, work-life balance, relationship, social media, your work, within the same space of time, each individual is trying to, so social media is pulling, relationship is pulling, work is pulling. But at the end of the day, we all know that in the office space, we spend more hours in the office space.
Right.
Right. So that is where the balancing aspect become a challenge. Because if the work is structured in 8 hours, I mean from 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. to 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., look at the number of hours you're spending in the office environment. So if the office environment is toxic, if relationships are not measured, if works are not measured, and they are not cleared down procedures and conditions of service to, regulate how individuals should relate, then already you are stressed. Right. Already you are not balanced in terms of your emotions, in terms of your thinking, in terms of your abilities. Now, when we go to the house or the home setting, how comfortable is the individual, whether you are alone, because people carry whatever load they have from the office space to the home setting, right? Now, in your relationship, you have a partner, you have children, you have people who love you, you have family. Everybody needs your attention. How do you put yourself in this situation? And that is where I come in. Now, you have to be able to measure your time in a way that it is a deliberate attempt. No one is going to do that for you. That is something we have to know. Nobody is going to do that for you. But you have to come to that realization. Personally, last year I realized that I can actually go to the office and not eat the whole day, continuous for like a week. Not because I don't have food available, but because of what I am doing. I'm occupied with a lot of things. So then I have to think through it and strategize. Nobody is going to help me. I have people who care and say, oh, have you eaten? Should we help you? They'll warm the food for me. Still, I'm not eating the food because I'm still doing something. Then I have to set an alarm. So I set an alarm 12 noon. You see that whether I want or not, alarm it will just be there. And then it gives me that edge that, hey, this is your life. Just eat something. So there are lots of issues. One, in the work environment, how the work settings. That is why we are promoting remote work. That is why we are promoting virtual work. That is why we are promoting work-life balance. Now, your family, your relationship. So I agree with him. I have realized that when individuals cannot balance their, relationship, work, social media, they become reactive instead of proactive. And when I say that, it's like they are always firefighting. The little thing trigger. And you'll be wondering, why have this person changed so much? She used to be smiling. She used to be very friendly. But now the little thing, because the person is really down, like the person is occupied. Right? Yeah. So instead of being proactive and strategic and thinking through, the person is being a defense. Like whatever you say, the person wants to defend him or herself because the person is really, occupied in work, relationship, social media. Now, research has it that social media can be a productivity killer. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Social media can be a productivity killer. Depending on how you want to. Sometimes we may, in our subconsciousness, think that, I want to, do some, it starts from school. I'm learning from my phone. I have realized that, I can learn on my phone, but it's not helping me. Because by the time I realize I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I have other messages coming in from WhatsApp and all that. So I can sit the whole night or from maybe 8 p.m. to 12, and then you can measure that 30 minutes is just for that learning. I have actually wasted all the hours on other things, and that is not the reason why I picked that phone.
So it's you identifying the problem.
Exactly. So every individual listening to us, you have to come to that realization. People love you. You may read articles, people will say to you, but at a point, you have to realize, you have to come to that realization and identify the challenge you are in.
Right. With these comments from Jock and yourself, maybe we should just end the conversation because it's been a lot of insight. No, but we have more questions because you talked about the, from everyone there's a pull factor.
Great.
And there's one coming from business or your work.
Great.
There's another from social media, your home.
Yeah, relationship.
And there's another one from relationship,
friends, family.
Then you touched on social media.
Right.
Now let's look at the life of, let's come to business, your work life and all that.
Great.
You commented and said that instead of being proactive, instead of being proactive, you react.
Reactive, yeah.
So many employees struggle to disconnect work even after working hours.
Right.
How can they set healthy boundaries between work and personal life?
I love your question. And when I was coming, I was like, I'm a victim of this. And I feel that this is a call to all of us.
Right.
Yes. At a point, we have to come to that. So I will answer your question and say that, saying that I have closed from work or I am done with the day, it's not just about shutting down your machine and getting up. It's about being able to create a distance. And how do you create that distance? So I will encourage that you shouldn't have work notification like emails on your phone, right?
Okay.
So when you are up and going, at least that kind of thing is there. Because at a point, my personal phone was connected to work email. So at dawn, you wake up and you see something urgent. And then you want to, because the person has an urgent, please, and you want to work on it. So how we are able to say at this point, I'm done, is first not shutting down and saying I'm done for the day, but make sure that you have disabled work notification, emails, and other things. Especially, number two, you have to also communicate your boundaries. So work starts from 8 to 5. If it is 5, I'm done. So let them know I don't respond to emails after 6 p.m. Communicate that. Don't say it, and then when they send you the email, you are working on it. Nobody will take you serious. Hello. So communicate that so that people know that this is you.
Right.
When you are there, you are productive. But when you are done indeed.
Right. But can you also say that, I mean, in terms of when it's 5, you're done and all that, there are some sectors or some organizations that even after working hours, you're still not done.
Right.
Say you're working in the media house or with a
Right.
news team, you need to be very, watching every
Yeah.
time so you can get up to date news.
Yeah.
If you're working in a telecommunication, you're in charge of ensuring that the signal is
Yeah.
correct and you can be called at any time. So
Yeah.
persons like that also,
Yeah.
how can they also balance? Because they can't shut off.
I understand.
Shutting off, they will be in trouble or
I
there'll be a
understand.
risk. How can such persons how can they also balance
Great.
their work?
I understand your work or your career or your chosen field.
Right.
Personally, I wear 3 hats. I'm a family person.
Mm.
I'm a career coach to a lot of graduates, individuals. I do a lot for organizations.
Mm.
And I also work, I'm an employee.
Mm. That's a lot.
That's a lot. So know the path you have chosen. Now, if you're into media, we understand how the media space is. So understand that this is my field. Now, if you get to that understanding, then you put in measures. And what are the measures? You have to know, okay, so within this time, we have emergencies. We understand. Emergencies once in a while, it can come in. But you have to measure your time. Okay, I have 24 hours, I have 8 hours, I have 12 hours, right?
Right.
Within these 12 hours, what am I doing? And at what time am I pausing and taking a walk, stretching or closing my eyes and sleeping and relaxing my memory? At what time am I pausing and reaching out to the family or reaching out to the relationship or my partner and saying, hello, how are you? At what point am I relaxing and looking at myself in the picture or looking at my career growth? So you structure your time. Maybe this month I want to learn a skill, right?
Right.
You know your schedule, so you have to plan. And when you are planning, you have to be deliberate about what you are doing in that plan. Don't just say I have planned my time and just be saying it. You will go back to the same thing. So have like a strategy, a map that you have your list of things you want to do. There are times you may not do everything you have planned, but at least it gives you that guide. People are wondering how I'm able to do A, B, C, D at all time. But the thing is that I plan. As I sit here, my post is live. But I did that just 2 days ago. My videos that are all on my socials have been done already. And you know when I do that, sometimes when I'm on the way to the workplace, in the car, I can relax and then give myself that time to do that. Sometimes when I'm exhausted, that is why I do videos, unscripted. So that is me. So just understand who you are, understand the path you have chosen, and plan so that you can give equal time to activities, especially work, relationship, and all other things. There are times I'll be like, oh, the whole week I want to know what is going on. I want to blog. So I give myself maybe 2 hours. I'm on socials. I read the news. There are times I want to research on scholarship opportunities for PhD. There are times, Saturdays sometimes I have meetings with clients and all. I have scheduled, and it is part of me. So when any new thing is coming in, that is not something that I just say, can we do it at this time? But if you have not planned your time, you'll be accepting a lot, and at the end of the day, whom do you blame?
Whom do you blame? It's 6 minutes past the top of the hour, right here on Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM. And we're talking about how to balance work, how to balance family, how to balance social media. And if you have any comments, do share with us on 0544 321019, 0544 321019. So let me go to Doc right now. Doc. Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc.
Can you hear me?
Right. We can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay. So, from Madam Quayson's point of view, what role does self-awareness play in achieving a healthy balance between work, relationship, and social media?
Okay, so self-awareness, I'll just mention 3. First of all, it makes you become aware of your current state. in terms of you as a person, right? How you feel, who you are, what your goals are, what your values are, what is important to you, what is not important to you. And that is important because we get involved in too many activities that we get lost somewhere. We lose ourselves somewhere in the equation. So you realize that sometimes you wake up in the morning, the first thing on your mind is your family. You wake up in the morning, the first thing on your mind is your work. And you are not even on your mind, right? So self-awareness helps you to be able to know exactly where you are as a person in terms of who you are, what you have, what you can do, how do I feel, what is important to me, what is valuable to me in this present moment. I think that helps. Secondly, it brings clarity, about where you want to get to with your life, and clarity about situations around you as a person. So, okay, in terms of career, this is where I am. In terms of my family, this is the situation. In terms of my future goals, this is where I've gotten to. People really don't think about those things because really work defines your life in many ways. When to rise up, when to sleep, when to go for leave, when to do all kinds of things, right? And so some people have long-term goals, but maybe they be working at a certain place because of convenience and stuff, and they are just lost in terms of their journey through life, right? So self-awareness will bring clarity as to where you have gotten to as a person in terms of your own life and your own career and whatever, so that you'll be able to know exactly what to do. The third bit I want to add is self-awareness makes you aware of what is valuable in terms of friendships, in terms of every investment that you're making, right? It makes you aware of where to put more investment in, and what to do and who to do what, and brings clarity as to the value the people around you bring to you as a person. Because sometimes you realize you'll be supporting everybody else, and some of the people you are even paying attention to, they are not as valuable to your life as they should be, right? The self-awareness would help you place premium and importance on what is really valuable and dear to you as a person. Because we receive calls all the time, even programs. For me, for example, in a day, you have several calls, come and speak here, come and do here, come and do here. Sometimes you have to actually pause and say, are all these people inviting you? Which programs are even necessary to even attend? And self-awareness will make you be able to do that. And so those are the few things I wanted to add.
Right. So Madam Quayson said that, make sure that you time or put the right time in every activity that you want to do. And according to Dr. Newman Arthur, he was also buttressing the point to say that you should be aware of what's valuable in order to prioritize. So let me come to Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
Yes, I'm with you.
Great. So from the digital point of view, what are some effective time management tips for people who use social media for both work and leisure?
Okay, so time management tips are individual to individual. It depends on which one works for you.
Okay.
For instance, we have people who do 9 to 5. We have others who also work remotely and all that. So the best thing, just as Doc also said, and Madam also agreed, that self-awareness is very important. You have to look at the workload you have and make time for it. If your work demands that you spend, let's say, 4 hours on phone, you should have an intermittent break. Funny enough, some of these, there are apps that can even help you plan, even when you go on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all these platforms. In as much as in fact, they are in competition, they also want our time, whilst we also want to take a break away from them. But regardless of everything, they also have a system that ensures that you go off sometimes. So some of the tips that I can share with our audience is, one, you can set up those apps that enables you to work within a certain time frame. So you let your Facebook know that I don't want to be active after, let's say, 6 p.m. So when that time approaches, then automatically it goes off. Even your phone as a device that is containing all these apps, you can actually set that time so that you can go off. There are times where you don't have to receive calls, you don't have to receive text message, no form of interaction using your mobile device.
Right.
That one will be a very good standard for you to work on. So far, that is the best one. And the self-awareness, just discipline yourself that, listen, I've been on the phone receiving call, replying messages, doing social media updates. At the end of the day, after 7 p.m., I'm going off. The next day, if the call is very important, the person will leave a message.
Right.
Yeah.
So talk of, same on self-awareness. There is some level of pressure when it comes to social media use. So how does the pressure to look successful online affect people's real life choices and, when it comes to balancing as well?
The best way to not let social media take you away too much, again, comes back to the conversation, self-awareness. Social media is a digital community, and it's a global community to that extent. Now, I would tell you on authority that not everybody share their true life story online. And now that we have AI, we are able to polish our photos, we are able to polish our videos. Almost everything you see online there is not 100% real, 100% natural. People are trying to fit in because in the media space, they will tell you, you have to make it for people to believe that this is the real situation. So we just have to let the general public know that not everything you see on social media is real. Somebody is actually updating on social media that, okay, I'm in Dubai having a great time. But in reality, that person maybe had that video on their phone for a very long time. They are just reposting it. It's not real time as you see it. So just know that in as much as it's in a competitive space, we all want to drive the best cars, we all want to, own a mansion, the properties here and there, but move at your own pace. Don't let the influence on the digital space influence you. Because at the end of the day, the people we even look up to as the people that are overly successful, at the end of the day, sorry to say, but we've seen all the security agencies chasing them. That tells you that be yourself.
I don't know, like you said something that really hits the nail on the head, saying that we are in a competitive space, but move at your own pace. Madam Quayson, you wanted to add to that?
Yeah. So about the time management skills, I like the fact that we have come to buttress the point that self-awareness is key. But one thing that helps individuals is the ability to manage your distractions. If you know what actually distracts you or takes most of your time, that is a wake-up call for you to align and prioritize. So what are the things? Is it friends? Is it, partying? Is it, then you are able to focus on the ones that are really relevant to you. So manage your distractions, very important, and focus and give in that competitive time to the things that matter. Now, on the issue on social media, I want everyone to know that, yes, I like what he said. The things there, most of them are not true, right? But one thing you should know is that if you don't have a personal strategy as an individual, from where you operate, social media will give you a strategy on how to operate. And this is how it's going to be. It's going to determine your likes, your followers. It's going to determine what you should even do. People are doing programs and courses because they saw someone doing it in their space and they feel they should also do. That is not how you go. So if you don't have your own strategy as an individual, I want you to know that social media will give you a strategy, and at the end of the day, you'll not be fulfilled.
Wow. Thank you so much, Madam Quayson. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan, I'll come back to you, but let me still on Madam Quayson. In career development, how important is it to maintain a balanced lifestyle, and what impact does imbalance have on performance or growth?
So it is important to, look at a balanced lifestyle, because that is the call to productivity. That is a call to self-awareness. That is a call to getting to your dreams, where you want to be. So in the career space, you have to know your values. You have to know your purpose. You have to know your vision. Now, if you don't know this, how do you thrive wherever you are? Because the organization you are going to work with has their own values, have their own purpose, have their own vision. So if you are working with an organization that has their own value, they'll be pulling you along. But if you have your own value, you know when to say, no, I don't want to be here. No, this is not working for me. This is what I want. It also helps you know the kind of developmental skills you should, channel your energy towards, right? So you don't accept anything that comes your way, right?
Right.
Very important. Now, the other thing about what is the disadvantage of not being balanced, is that it? Yeah, so being in productivity reduce.
Okay.
Or is that a question?
So I wanted to know what impact does imbalance have on performance?
So for performance, your performance, you have low performance because, as I stated earlier, you are already exhausted. You are being reactive instead of being strategic thinking, outside the box and being creative. So it affects your productivity. And when your productivity is affected, you'll be the next to be taken off.
Right.
So it is very important that we look at that. Now, a caution to employers. I don't, subscribe to presenteeism.
Okay.
The fact that I come to work very early, which we preach that everybody should be there on time, doesn't mean that I'm productive. Because people come and then
Is that what they call busybody?
Not that, but
Okay.
a bit.
Okay.
People come sit there because they are there on time. It's like they are the ones working. People can actually come and use your Wi-Fi and other things to do their personal things. They are not working for you, but they are just there on time. We have people who are not, always present, but very productive. They can give you results that you need. And that is very important. Employers should also, encourage an environment where it helps balance their employees, their work, their life, right? So you can set some,
Bonding
activities, a day out, stress management, all those kind of things, just to help them, become a bit balanced with the work and what they are, who they are as individuals. So we have to, encourage an environment where individuals can actually be pushed to. And if you're a supervisor and you don't know when your employee is stressed or needs, then you have to be given a training. So leaders should also know when to speak to their employees and ask them to pause. The fact that the person has been there from January to now, no leave, you feel, because you are benefiting. But at a time, ask the person, how are you?
Right.
Why don't you get a day off to relax? I see you are doing well. And that is where the conversation must start.
Right.
So if these things are not done well, one person is really overwhelmed, doing a lot, and at a point, the person will break. Even machines, when they are overheated, what happens? How much more individuals? So we have to really look at this. People are going through a lot of stress. People are having mental issues and all that because of this kind of imbalance. This is a call to action.
Right. This is a call to action. So if you're an employer, watch your employees, your staff, ensure that they have the right balance, ensure that they're able to take their leave. Some do not take their leave because they want to use this for other things. But
money is not all things.
Yes. You always push them to go on leave so they can have time to rest, recreate, come back, and then work better. Dr. Arthur, let me come. Hello?
Yes.
Right. How can people rebuild genuine human connection in an age dominated by...
Yeah, please repeat the question again.
Hello?
Yeah, please repeat it again.
How can people rebuild genuine human connection in an age dominated by digital interaction?
So before I answer that, let me add a bit to what she said.
Okay.
Haven't you realized that the hard workers at work, hard workers in quote, right, at work, they are the ones who die, early than those who are not hardworking. We go for their funerals, right? And in families, you realize that those who are most responsible are the ones we bury first.
Wow, that's a
Right?
big problem.
Because what it means is that work hard, but be measured, because the body cannot take certain things. The body, anytime you feel stress, is the body's way of telling you that slow down, right? But usually, people want to have that sense of well-being, that sense of achievement, that sense of this, so they overdo it. Every worker should work hard, but don't overdo it, right? And as much as possible, you don't take work home. Make sure you leave work at work. That is why it is called workplace, and the other one is called home. Home should be a place of rest. Those days, I used to overwork myself. I used to, but I've stopped all those things, right? Because I'm growing. I need to preserve my health.
Yes,
Right?
and it shouldn't be the case where when you're growing that you are conscious.
So at the end of the day, you are responsible for your own life. You die today, the next day you are replaced. So do your best at work. Work, don't be irresponsible. Put in your effort, but make sure that you are measured and you are also paying attention to your life. Usually the irresponsible people in the house, in the family, they are the ones who live longer because they are not burdened by many things. Right. Okay. So when it comes to relationships, I think we just have to be intentional to stay in touch. What it means is that you need to plan some day-to-day activities with the people who are important to you. And what it means is that, for example, family was done those days. It has to be restored. Family leisure out has to be restored. It's an intentional thing. You can decide that, okay, 3 out of the weekends in the month, I will step out with these people. I'll step out with my family, step out with this person, right? It should be an intentional plan. The same way you get up and you plan your finances, you plan your activities, you need to plan leisure also, right? And if you do that, if you add it to your timetable, it's likely to happen. Again, you need to plan. For example, if you have kids, right? Make sure that instead of allowing the driver to take the kids, why not take the kids yourself? You are bonding in the car. And if you have time to actually bring them back home, you go pick them, bring them back home, right? All those things helps with that sense of connection. When you come home, doing house chores together helps. So let's say you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids, whatever, or a husband, you have a husband, trying to do, wash together, cook together, sweep together. All those things are ways that if you even have to work, you can be able to be doing those things with your family. So leisure must be planned intentionally. It should be part of your monthly goals and activities, and morning related exercise and all that. And if you belong to a group, or let's say a church or an organization, getting involved with the activities of the organization also can actually help, right? And so some of these things will, but people should never forget that those who are hard workers overly do things, and we praise them, we clap for them. They are the ones we bury first, right? So whilst they are clapping, know that they are clapping you to your death, right?
Yes.
And so be measured. Pay attention to your own life and don't feel pressured by anybody. People should fit into your time and not the other way around, right? Because if you want to be busy, people will find work for you, right? So in the midst of caring and showing care and stuff, make sure that you are also caring for yourself, because you also deserve what you are giving to others.
So it's important for staff to manage their time, also for employers to watch their staff and make sure that they work proactively or productively within the time frame that they're supposed to do their work. Let me come to you, Mr. Laryea. Sorry, before I do that, hello? Okay, it's better now. Mr. Laryea, are you on the call? Hello? Okay, so then let me come to you, Madam Quayson. You made some digital points as well. So what practical tips can one use to help avoid burnout when juggling professional duties, social life, even in digital engagement as well?
Yes, the core area is to plan and then prioritize, right?
Right.
When you want to choose, so be at where you have to be at the time you have to be, and not at where you are when it's not time. So if you are supposed to, at this between maybe 9 to 10, I'm supposed to be on social media. One, why are you on the social media? What is the purpose for you being on the social media? You have to know and do that. From maybe 12 to 3, I'm supposed to be on my desk. What are you going to do? Do what you are supposed to do, the most important ones first. Then later, if you want to spend other time on other things, you can do. But don't be at where you are not supposed to be at the time you are not supposed to be. Indirectly, you are creating imbalance.
Indirectly, you're creating. So when it comes to, so you said indirectly you're creating imbalance. So when it comes to career growth, still on career growth, how can one maintain a meaningful, balance?
So it depends on the individual.
Okay.
If you know where you are going, if you have a vision board, you have a purpose. We say these things, it looks like jargons and buzzwords, but these are not filler words. See, you have your own life, right? So know what I'm here to do. This year, you may have your goals. So if you want to have a career progression, you have to put in the effort in that area. But in doing that, it doesn't mean that family should suffer, relationships should suffer, and then social media should suffer. So if you want to, be a supervisor, what do you need to be there? Look at that, and then if you have to train, you train. If you have to do your MBA, you do your MBA. But when you are doing that, communicate. Communication is very key. Don't assume that because I am with you or because I am working, my employer should just understand automatically that I'm going to school. If you have planned earlier, you know that this year I'm going to do an MBA, you would have communicated earlier and also know how you are going to juggle your work schedule and to make sure that it doesn't suffer whilst you are going to school. So the most issues that people have is that they feel, oh, the person is not supporting my progression. But my question is that, did you communicate what you want to do? So communication is very important. You live with people, you work with people, and whatever you are doing, though it is your business, unless you are living on an island. But because you are not just that, you have to actually communicate so that people know that at this point, Lydia don't accept this. At this point, Lydia is doing this. And it helps you. It actually helps your relationship, and it also helps you grow. So don't hide and be doing things when we are calling, where are you? You know that you are in class, but you don't know how to, because why are you, putting pressure on yourself?
Yeah.
Communicate. So it's very important. Communication is very important. It helps you. Whilst you plan, you have to let people know that, oh, this is what I want to be doing at this time. And whatever process or procedure you have to go through, you go through, and you have to also ensure that it is not going to affect the other. Now, undergraduate studies, my research was on the influence of social media on face-to-face interaction.
Okay.
And the fact is that you can really, say, I don't know if you have experience that people can be, send you messages, you'll be on the conversation with them on the phone, but when you meet them in person, they don't even say hello to you. I don't know if you have been at that point in your life.
Yes, I have.
People can be very loud and as if they are your friend, but when you meet them, even when you are sitting close to them, they don't even, you can't say hello to them.
Yeah.
So that is, there is that kind of imbalance or reality versus what is actually the case. There was a time I did a survey and I said, okay, I'm going to pause 1 week on all my social media handles and see if anybody will reach out. So the fact that you are always on social media doesn't mean that people care about you. Right. You have to know that. Yeah. So I did that, and I think it's only one person who said, the person made a post and said, where is our career coach? And the person called. And I was like, oh, so this is it. If I go for a week, this is it. You see? So the fact that, you are on social media, it makes you feel, people, it doesn't connote love. It doesn't connote relevance. You can be gone for 3 months. Nobody even know or want to They've forgotten about you.
Yeah.
So know yourself. What do you want to achieve career-wise? Look at the skills the gaps, right? The skills gap. Work on that, and then accelerate and get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And in as much as you are doing that, prioritize your time, communicate with the people that matter to you, and you will be okay.
It's 9:32 a.m. right here on Business Breakfast on ZED 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. And today we are having a conversation on how to balance work, relationship, and social media to shape our lifestyle. And we have Dr. Arthur, Madam Lydia Quayson, and Jonathan Nii Laryea here with us to give us expert understanding on some of this and how to work around or balance our work, relationship, and social activity. So let me come to you, Doc. Hello, Doc. Hello. Okay, then I'm with you, Madam Quayson. So, I just want to understand how, so for someone who identifies all these things, is there a way to detox, especially when it comes to digital, social use?
Yeah.
How can someone detox themselves from it? Using the example of you acknowledge or realizing that when you use your phone to study, you lose sight of the reason why
at this point I'm
end
here.
end up going on social and all that. How can one detox itself from that or move away from that?
So from the phone matter, last year I realized that Facebook had a video feature, right, where you don't want to watch any video, but you are on, and then from one video another video, and it's interesting.
Right.
So I realized that. So I just have to go to the settings and then take that feature from my Facebook. Take it from my Facebook so that videos don't appear unless I really need it. Because I realized that it was taking a lot of my time. Right. So one step is that if you know your distractions, then you have to know the ones that you have to delete. There are times I put my phone on airplane mode just to sleep. I do that just to sleep, right? So it is being deliberate and intentional about it. If you don't do that, it's going to affect you. So detoxing, you have to first delete the ones that you think that are distracting you. Maybe limit it. You can start by limiting it in bits. So let's say if maybe you spend like 2 hours every day on Facebook, you can say, oh, now I'm going to do 1 hour. That is the wake up or the start point. And then the 1 hour, what am I doing with it? Is it going to help me grow as an individual, or is just being there and commenting on people's posts and gossiping? Then that is not going to add any value to your life, right? So it's rather taking your time. So you have to know, like let's say LinkedIn, I go there for a purpose, right? I have over 40,000 connections. I go there for a purpose. When I go to Facebook, I go there for a purpose. When I go to YouTube, I go there for a purpose. When I go to TikTok, I go there for a purpose. When I go to Instagram, I go there for a purpose. So know the ones that is actually helping you grow. For me, I can spend like an hour on LinkedIn because I know what LinkedIn is doing for me career-wise. I can spend like 10 minutes on Facebook because I know the algorithm of what Facebook is adding to my life. Maybe 30 minutes on TikTok and YouTube because I know what I'm trying to achieve this year with these two media channels. So you have to know. Yes.
If you just tuned in, you're still here on Business Breakfast on ZED 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Do send us your comments, questions on 0544321019, 0544321019. So, Madam Quayson, what does balanced lifestyle mean in today's digital world?
So when we talk about balanced lifestyle, we are actually saying that how you are able to align everything around you within the time you have and at the right time. So as I stated, being present at one point of your life and doing what you're supposed to do at that time. So you don't spend that time on another thing. So balancing means that, hey, if I have to be at work at this time, I'm there. I do what work is about. I am done. When I go home, there's no work. It is home and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do at home. When I meet with my friends, I'm not on my phone because it is friends time and it's bonding time. So being at where you are supposed to be at the right time and doing what you are intended to do. That is what we want to say balancing. And after that, you also having time for yourself.
Right. So even if it's an 8 to 5, from 8 to 5, make sure you do all the work you're supposed to do. After 5, when you get home, you know that this is time to do other things, whether it's relationship, family, any other thing you're doing. However, if you are in a sector or an organization that requires that even after 5 p.m., you still have to be on call. You have to find a way to manage your time. So there's also enough time for family, for lifestyle, and for yourself. Right. Now, so should employers or organizations also play a role in promoting digital wellness and work-life balance? I'm sure you did touch a bit on it, but I need more emphasis on that.
Very, very important. See, research has it that organizations with high turnover rates are organizations with no balanced lifestyle. And that is the volume of how not incorporating balanced lifestyle in organizations can affect your employee. High turnover. And people are going out each and every day. They are leaving your organization. So this is a call to action. Why won't you establish a bonding, time, motivation, engagement session, stress management? Let the individuals know that, hey, we care about your well-being. We care about your lifestyle. Right? It is not just about working for me and that is it, but we care about you. And when the individuals know that you care about them, they give you what you want without asking. Right? So it is very clear. If I always say I'm an HR person, right, as a certified human resource professional, I know when an employee is giving me excuses for a while, I know that, hey, the next thing is the person is actually about to go. Because, sometimes the signs are very clear. The person is overwhelmed. Okay? So we have to prioritize that. We can actually incorporate lifestyle activities, lifestyle training. Sometimes you can have a gym session for your employees. You can have sporting activities, stress management, engagement, emotional, dialogue, intelligence dialogue, family lifestyle. I know some organizations, like I mentioned, MTN, and I know University of Ghana, they have a career session for staff where you can talk to a counselor. So you can go there with even your children, and the organization takes care of who is picking them from school for you, and you have to just have that peace of mind to focus on why you are here. So when you give people the attention they need and you let them know that, hey, we love you, you are working for us, you are giving us what we want, but at the end of the day, you matter. You don't have to ask for certain things. You don't have to beg for certain things. And that is very important. So if you have high turnover rate, please go back to the conditions of services. Look at, is there anything in for the employee? Or everything there is about you? Then you are not going to be A-listed as a preferred choice for job seekers.
So it means that for organizations or employers, you have to make sure that there is time where your staff can also, have time to relax and rejuvenate. So it means that when there's turnover rates, and the reason is because there's too much, the workload is too much and there's pressure, you need to go back and look at, conditions of service and outline that properly. So what about employees who also, even after, and I have this personal experience, even after you communicate to them, you are overworking. Why are you still here when it's closing time and all that? With the employees who love to work, how can you, help them as an employer?
Thank you for the question. I love to work. I know people say I'm a workaholic, but I'm not a workaholic. I just love to work. But this is the thin line, right? So if you are working with an individual like me, and I love to work, the fact that I'm always loving to work doesn't mean that I will not break down at a point. That is something you should think outside the box. Maybe after 5, I'm still here, and you are asking me, go home, Lydia, whilst you are saying go home, Lydia, you are bringing more work. That kind of thing. So the fact that I'm there doesn't mean that, so you have to be intentional about it. You say, yeah, we love it when you are here, but I think that in a week, if you are staying always after 5 to 10, can we do it 2 times in a week? Can you do that 2 times so that you can rest? And
right.
Yes. So the leaders or the supervisors must also look at it. I was on a media channel, and then this question was posed, similar question, and then I'm saying that if you have employees who are refusing to go on leave for a year or 2, you have to start doing some kind of security checks. I think so, because hey, if I come to work today and say go and rest, I should be able to leave my desk and go and rest without being afraid of anything. I said that on condition that you, the employer, you have done your part, and the workplace is very serene, where I'm not afraid that this person will take my work when I'm not there.
Yeah.
So there are organizations that you have seen that, hey, my colleague went on leave, and before she could come, they have a new person on the seat. If people see that, they will be afraid to, go on leave, because they know that by the time I come, someone is already there, right? They are trying to protect. But if you have given that assurance in terms of job security, and leave is leave, then I don't see the need why you should be encouraging people to stay for long without going on leave. And when people are refusing to go on leave, try and do some kind of test or run some checks on such individuals. Maybe there's something they are doing. And I said that because I've had issues of they are doing something that they don't want anybody to know. And so leaving at that time will not help them. They want to, find some kind of backup to cover whatever they are doing.
Right. So this one is for workaholics, for lack of a better word. What about those who say that, well, though work time is 8 to 5, they also leave all the work. When it's 5, then they are away. How can an employer also manage such stuff?
There should be a way to measure impact.
Right.
Not presenteeism. The person came, signed onto the machine, and that is, I'm at work. I'm at work actually should be what you have done after you have signed in, and not because I'm seated and it is like I'm working and I'm not working. So the organization have systems that they use to check. Some, not all, right? I am able to measure all the people who work under me. If you are not pulling, I can say, hey, today, so from morning you came, this is the only thing you could do.
Right.
I'm watching you, right? You have to have a way. Not when the person come, leave everything, and when it's 5, I'm gone. It means that the person is occupying space. The person is not giving you results. So there should be a way to measure impact, what the person is bringing to the table each and every day. And so you can come in when the person is actually not giving more, or the person's performance is actually going down. You can come in and sit the person down and say, this is what we have seen. Your algorithm from the beginning of the year, you were doing so well. Your progress was, 30% this, but now it is going down. Is there a challenge? Are you overwhelmed? That is where you can have a conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
So in other words, make sure that you check their KPIs and ensure that you're working with
Very
it appropriately.
important.
Now, your final advice, would you offer your final advice, would you offer to, let me say it again. What will be your final advice to young professionals trying to build a fulfilling life while staying active online?
Great. Anyone listening to us, watching us, wherever you are, I want you to know that you are alone and you are one. When I say that, what I want you to know is that, see, today, if you are gone, even before you are buried, there will be a discussion on who is doing next at what time. People will come, the funeral grounds is how many minutes or hours? They just cry for 30 minutes and they are gone. So know why you are here.
Right.
Understand why you are there. And prioritize your time and your life very well so that you can have a very good one whilst alive. I want you to know that social media, your relationship, your work, they all matter, but you matter the most.
Yeah.
And so work on it and make sure that you are not, sacrificing everything you have to social media, neglecting yourself as an individual. Very, very important. You will be gone and it will be less than 30 minutes. Sometimes even the organization will not show up during the funeral. They'll just send a message that they are busy, they had a meeting. I've seen a lot of that. And people were very angry. And then later they'll come and give you some token and that will be it. So you matter, and so prioritize that. Work on your career, work on your progression, focus on your dreams, do what you can. But at the end of the day, you matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, though I said this is final advice, but let's buttress the point on for workaholics again. What's your final advice for workaholics?
So yes, we love you, workaholics. Hey, I love myself, workaholics. But my final advice to you is that though this is you,
Yeah.
but every machine breaks down at a point. Know that today you are active and all that, but the consequences thereof matter. Doc mentioned that he has seen that most hardworking people die early. And research also has it that people who stay so long close to their machine and not stretching develop a lot of, sickness, diseases and all that. Maybe today your eye is okay. Maybe today your back, you don't have back pains, you can stretch, you have all the energy. But tomorrow, what will be your story? Don't end up like those who started. Wake up.
Well, okay. That's a very powerful last word. But so she says, wake up. So if you are a workaholic, balance your life. Okay. Anyway, so thank you so much, Madam Quayson. Thank you, Dr. Arthur. Thank you, Mr. Laryea, for joining us this morning. This is Business Breakfast on ZED 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio. Don't forget to follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook at ZFMGH, on TikTok and YouTube at Z Multimedia. I am Ajo, and it's been lovely having you. It was lovely having you here on the show with us. And I have learned a lot. I'm sure you have also. And we'll find a way to balance work, relationship, and social media so that our lifestyles are in good shape, and we will prioritize and look at what's valuable so that we can, and also be self-aware so that we can have the right balance in every activity that we find ourselves doing. So like I always say, if you find a good thing that you do with your hands, may you be blessed. Once again, I am Ajo, and see you again next time.
ZED 101.9